Today is August the 28th, 2025. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne update. We don't have any news on a Bloodborne remaster or a new Bloodborne game today. We don't have any From Software Souls news to go over. We have some gaming news to go over. I'll try and make it quick, or as quick as I can. So first of all, Sony released a new trailer today for Ghost of Yotei. This is coming in a little over a month. And it looks fine, it looks like more Ghost of Tsushima, except it's got guns now. And just a little more variety to the combat. Ghost of Tsushima was very polished, but overall there wasn't much to do with the combat. It looked very flashy and it was very well done, but it did what it did very well, but unfortunately that was all it did, and it got kind of tiresome. So yeah, looks, fine. But I do just have to say, I find it odd how little buzz there is about this game, For a lot of people, when Sony releases a big AAA game, there's a lot of buzz about it, There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of people on Twitter screaming, jumping up and down about how exciting it is. I never really do that. But there's like an unusual amount of just like nothing for this game. Has anybody else noticed it? No one's really excited. No one's like flipping out. No one's really talking about it. I don't know why. I don't really know exactly what the deal is, but it strikes me as odd that there's just really nothing for Ghost of Yotei. God of War had, a lot of hype behind it. Horizon Forbidden West had more hype behind it than this, which is crazy to say, but it did. Really odd. It just strikes me as weird. See, PlayStation has another exclusive coming tomorrow, which is Lost Soul Aside. Reviews on this are kind of mixed at the moment. It just kind of seems okay. It seems like it's got some issues. Like, it's just, I could tell from just the gameplay of it that it wasn't really anything substantial. I feel like you could see the cracks where things were kind of put together cheaply and not really with much effort to it. You could see the cracks in Lost Soul Aside. The last bit of gaming news is there was a fresh leak that just came out about Kingdom Hearts 4 and the worlds. I'll go over this quickly. So the world list for this is interesting. I'm going to talk about this very quick, get this over with, because gaming news, I'll talk about it. The world list was the Final World, Quadratum, the Mysterious Tower, Underworld, Moana, Princess and the Frog, Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia, Incredibles. What was this one again? Let me check. Brave, Inside Out, I think is what that would be, because it's called Inside World. This one's called Land of the Dead. I'm going to assume that's probably Coco. Wally, Galaxy World, probably Star Wars, Scala at Kylum, Radiant Garden, Destiny Islands, and the last one just called WF. Couple things. The leak suggests that this is not the official list for the game. This is like what Disney said, hey, this is a whole list of IPs we would like for you to use for Kingdom Hearts. Just pick from this. That's kind of what the leak suggests, because this will be a lot of worlds from modern game to do. Some of these I think we could kind of rule out or just say would be insubstantial. The Final World, Mysterious Tower, Underworld. What else is in here that would be kind of nothing? Skylad, Kylum, Radiant Garden, and Destiny Islands. All those would kind of just be very insubstantial worlds, I feel. Kind of like what some of that stuff was in KH3. It wouldn't really be anything major, I don't think. So I think even if it's there, it's not going to be anything substantial. As for some of the other worlds in here, I'll say Incredibles, I don't think so, because they're already doing Quadratum, and Quadratum's a city, and Incredibles would be a city, and you're not going to do two cities. It wouldn't make sense. You're either doing Incredibles or you're doing Quadratum, and they're obviously doing Quadratum. You're not doing both. It would be really silly to do both. So I think you can count that out. So that more or less just leaves, if this leak is to be believed, Quadratum, Moana, Wreck-It Ralph, Princess and the Frog, Zootopia, what was this again? Brave, Inside Out, Coco, Star Wars, and WF, whatever that is. So if this leak is to be believed, that those would be like the actual worlds. Again, a lot of that other stuff, if it's in the game, would be kind of insubstantial. So yeah, that's about everything. Nothing else in terms of gaming news, but we caught up on Ghost of Yotei, Lost Soul Aside, and the Kingdom Hearts leak. So yeah, that's it. No news on a Bloodborne remaster or a new Bloodborne game today, but we had some gaming news to go over, but nothing really major. That's been your daily Bloodborne remaster, or daily Bloodborne update, sorry, for August the 28th, 2025.